So I came across this absolutely insane article, something that I see pop up every now and then, every like year or so. You're going to see this kind of story pop up, which is a former PlayStation executive apparently thinks that consoles have officially caught up to PCs. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, he actually thinks that consoles have caught up to PCs in any tangible way whatsoever. This is that level of cope that they try to sell you when you are a console exclusive player. They try to put this thought in your mind that, oh yeah, consoles are totally as good as PCs. We don't want you to lose you to the PC crowd. You just keep playing your consoles. We are totally, like, it's not that much of a difference. We are very close to what PCs can do. Ladies and gentlemen, just let that be known that that is absolutely BS. So let's get into this article, guys, from The Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. And again, guys, I just want you to understand something. When it comes to PCs versus consoles, I don't care what you play on. If you're a gamer and if you enjoy playing video games, I want you to play video games on whatever is accessible to you. So if console gaming is more accessible to you, have at it. If PC gaming is accessible to you, then have at it. But I'm also not going to sit here and lie when it comes to technical standards between the two and how close or not close they may be. Just let it be known, consoles do not come anywhere close to PCs. It's not even fucking close. You understand that consoles have a struggle playing games at 60 FPS at any sort of maximum settings whatsoever. Again, that's just from the graphical standpoint. We're not even going to talk about anything else because nothing can come close to a high rig PC, which is what he's comparing to. He's not comparing to a low-end PC. He's comparing to a high-end PC. It says, for as long as gaming has existed, there have been two forms of console wars. The first, and generally referred to as the console war, is the internal struggle between different brands. Right now, that would be Sony and Microsoft with the PS5 and Xbox, while Nintendo is off doing its own thing with the Switch, and soon the Switch 2. But there is another form of console war as well, one where consoles fight collectively against the all-knowing entity of PC gaming. Console play, while highly competitive, when played between friends, sure is typically the domain of more casual players seeking a more casual time, while PC gaming is where graphics are cranked up to the max and things get extremely sweaty, whether you have those cooling fans engaged or not. However, former executive Shawn Layden, speaking to a podcast Player Driven, thinks that the gap is much closer than we think. Only something playing with the extreme eye, or players with an extreme eye for minuscule settings, says a PC player, would notice. And it's through this link that he feels gaming finds its next evolution, bro. This sounds like unbelievable cope, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't know how else to say it other than that. If you're trying to say that only the most trained PC eye can see the difference between PC gaming and console gaming, I think you are out of your mind. It is not even close. Every single video game that has come out that was usually console exclusive and was now released on PC has been the definitive better version once it was released on PC. That is a fact. I don't understand why you would even bother arguing with that. And the funny thing is, they were designed for consoles, so they usually don't even run well on PC right off the bat. They have to get patched, and eventually they become, they run amazing. Obviously, this casual hardcore divide is not entirely representative. Many PC players play idle sim games to relax, and many console players are engaged in difficult, fine-margin competitive games. But typically, what PC offers you is a chance to fine-tune everything to your exact specifications, perhaps even building your rig from scratch, while consoles can be plugged in and played. And Layden thinks that in order for consoles to become even bigger than they are, there needs to be a fundamental shift in the industry. Ultimately, I would like the games industry to have the same penetration rate as television sets do, he says. So how do you get there? One thing, I don't think you get there by having only 3 manufacturers. When Layden proposes is removing the idea of PlayStation game or Xbox game and instead simply making a game that can be played on any machine that supported it, like a DVD or Blu-ray disc. We'd get a pretty good game format OS if players could agree to come together and then license that out, just like we do with Blu-ray, just like we do with Compact Disc, and let people compete on content. I don't actually disagree with this. I think that it would be cool if games were available on everything. I think that would be awesome. I don't like the idea of exclusivity because all that does is try to funnel you into that specific console that manufacturer is trying to sell, right? Whether it's Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft, it doesn't matter. They're trying to funnel you into their ecosystem of consoles, and I hate it. But I understand why there is exclusivity. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it personally as a consumer. PC claims inspired this line of thought. The architecture in the current version of consoles on the high-end PCs are quite close now. No, they're not. No, they're not, bro. They're all quite... No, they're not. No, they're not. Are you trying to say that a 5090 is the same as a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X? Are you serious right now? Like, this is... Okay, so I was agreeing with him up here. I cannot come anywhere close to agreeing with him down here. Why would you even say that? They're all quite similar. Bro, explain what similar is. Have you looked at what consoles are capable of doing? Have you done an actual graphical test between a 5090 and what's available in a PlayStation 5? And you'll realize very quickly that it's not even in the same stratosphere. Why would you lie to people and say, oh, they're all quite similar? And any changes or enhancements to that, like we say in the studios, only the dog can hear that. Like, we're going to have 20% more ray tracing. Okay, bro, it's not even ray tracing. Are you kidding me right now? It's the fact that consoles are struggling to run games at 60 FPS, especially if they're not a PS5. The PS5 is the best performing one out of all three consoles right now, and it doesn't even come close to what a PC could do on a high end. Like, again, if you would have said that consoles are coming close to what low-end gaming PCs are able to do, okay, we can have that conversation. But if you're trying to compare it to high-end PCs, you're smoking crack. Like, there's really nothing else I can say other than that. While many PC gamers will quickly tell you that the difference is far more noticeable than Layden suggests, there are also the issues that many of the biggest games around are exclusives, funded by console manufacturers for the express purpose of selling consoles. Again, while that may be true for the AAA segment, indie and AA is thriving on PC. It's not even close, bro. There are so many people that are enjoying PC games lately that are indie and AA. Look at Schedule 1. Schedule 1 is a game that graphically is freaking ridiculous, but the game is selling massively. Why? Because it was focused on gameplay. It was focused on giving you a fun experience. It was focused on giving you something that didn't necessarily need a graphical powerhouse in order to do. And that thing right now is Steam exclusive. Obviously, it's going to come out on console eventually, but it was made for PCs. So again, the PC market is so vast and so like wide that of course it's not just going to be because of, you know, AAA massive games. Who cares, bro? Those games get ported over to PC anyway most of the time, like you just said. So it doesn't really matter. The PC market is way more diverse than that. It says that while Xbox may be leaning away from this model, PlayStation and Nintendo are not. Still, end-to-end all versions of the console war seems like an idyllic future, if not quite a realistic one. So again, guys, I think we are at the point now where I don't know why they say PS5 is not doing this when PlayStation is 100% putting their games out on PC. It might be delayed right now, but they're still putting their games out on PC. Microsoft is putting their games everywhere. That's the, you know, they're going basically the Sega route at this point. And Nintendo. Nintendo's greedy as hell, man. They're not going to put their games everywhere. They want people to be in their ecosystem because for them, getting people in that ecosystem of console allows them to maintain control over their first-party games, which is what they really want to do. They don't want the day where they have to put their games on a PlayStation. That's the last thing they want to do. Can you imagine Mario on a PlayStation? Yeah, that's not going to happen. They're going to remain exclusive until the day that company dies, if it ever does. Chances are I'll die before that company dies, but still, it's one of those things where Nintendo wants to keep you in that ecosystem, and they're going to do everything they can possible to make sure that happens. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.